new rep training for June. And I am very excited to say that we are trending $20,000 over where we landed for May, which is crazy because we have the website and inventory and whatnot. So I just want to say thanks for having the patience through all of that. I know that corporate obviously is communicating as much as they can with us about everything and anything. So I would say, when I obviously first started, I jumped on as many new rep calls and trainings as I could, just looking for little nuggets of new information. So whether you started your business a month ago or whether you started today, or you started a year and a half ago, obviously anything that you can contribute to the team and anything that you can learn and any training is very valuable. I do that. That's part of my task inside of my business is I go and seek and try to listen to trainings to try to strengthen this as I move forward. So today, I'm just going to go through obviously some things that we have talked about before in our new rep training with a couple of things in that. I know Taylor was on. I don't know if anybody else was on, but I'm going to incorporate a lot more mindset things inside of our trainings, whether it's a new rep training or the Tuesday training. And we've done this a couple of times. But what we're going to do today to kick off the new rep training is we're going to do a 2-minute journaling exercise. And basically, you can do it if you don't have access to a pen and paper. You can write it in your phone notes. You can just think about it in your head and then write it down later. You can put your phone or your picture on mute and then go write it in your computer or whatever. But what I want you to do for 1 to 2 minutes is I want you to write down what I really want is ... And it could be anything. It could be family related. It could be monetary related. It could be ZYIA related. I just want you to free write for 2 whole minutes and without stopping your pen or your keyboard. So I'll start the timer. I know a couple of you guys have done this with me before. Taylor has done it before. And this is ever evolving. And we'll talk about that as we migrate into the new rep training. But I want you guys to start with 2 minutes of texting yourself and you can begin. Okay, and you can stop. So probably even just like a month ago, I got a notebook that I use for all of my calls, whether it's in my team training or I'm doing a training for another team or I'm doing just like the call that we just got on just to take notes. And I've never really been like a huge journaler, but my friend Meredith did a mindset exercise with us, and I've kind of done a lot of research moving forward to that. And when we talk about like when we start our business here at ZYIA, you know, we talk about this, and I think there is obviously a lot of other MLMs that talk about like what's your why and your story and putting it out there in social media and putting it out there with the world. And I do a lot of that in our leadership training that we're doing now and we've done before is, you know, now that you're a ZYIA rep, you know, you want to share that with the world and share that with the people who love you, but it's ever evolving. And so when we did this mindset exit to activity a couple weeks ago on Tuesday training, I wrote down, obviously in my little notebook that I got, I wrote down, and she made us write for like 5 minutes, right? So I wrote down like a page and a half of things, and it went from everywhere from my family to my business to my personal self-development and my journey, to just my old soccer career. Like it went into a bunch of things. And then we highlighted and we shared, and there was some tears that were sowed, and we really kind of opened up a little bit with each other. And what I found with that is I did it in a leadership exercise series that I'm running, and I did it with a couple groups, and I've done it repetitively a couple of times. And what I've saw is that every time I've completed the exercise, like it was kind of like a journaling exercise, and it was like changing. I think Leanne, you were on that call too. So it was like I wasn't what I wanted, even in my business, was changing from that week to the next week. And so it's not like I didn't want to write down the same things, but I was seeing growth. I was seeing growth in myself, and I was seeing growth in the team, and I was seeing growth in the company. And I think that's really important because, like, yeah, we know that last month was good and last month was really great. And I even remember back to when I first joined, but to have it on pen and paper and to see that is really, really like powerful for me. And that's why I do use the goal tracker. And if you're new and you haven't seen that, obviously, I will show you that. I don't have mine out here right now. It's a pretty raw PDF, and it's literally just about like where you want to be. You put some numbers on there, you put your rank goal and stuff like that. But I really try to dial that into, you know, to behaviors for myself. So if you are new and you do not know that we have a team website, Katie and Monica have built www.onfia.com. And that has videos, and mind you that some of those YouTube videos are a little older because of the back office was changed. But those have like the logistics that you need. So I know I talked to Amanda today about like how to close a party, how to open a party, how to navigate your back office, how to use your rewards. Like those kinds of things are very important to your business day one, right? You need to know how to log in your back office. So if you haven't logged in your back office, you know, get with your upline. Like I know I'm working with Liz on like just trying to like get familiar with that or whatever. So, you know, number one, obviously, is that you need to be able to log in the back office and feel comfortable in how to get in there. And then you need to be able to want to share your story or create that why. You have to kind of resonate on like, you know, obviously I jumped in because I love the leggings, or I jumped in because I need a couple extra, you know, bucks for my kids, or, you know, like everybody's why is evolving. So when I started, that's part of my story, but my why is changed now. You know, obviously I didn't have a whole lot of impact on that, other than this decision to work full-time, ZYIA, but that wasn't the case a year and a half ago. Does that make sense? So whether you are comfortable sharing that or whether you're not, I think it's very powerful because like literally one person sees it and will connect with you. I had a girl today that I'm doing a party with in her wellness group, and I watch her all the time. And she's from Southern Missouri, where I went to school. And there's not a whole lot of interaction in there, but I always go back because the content is good. She's very truthful. She's very raw. She does a lot of good research. She's relatable to body size to me, and I continue to watch her even though she's not selling, and she sells Beauty Counter, but I'm intrigued by her because I'm relatable. So even though you think that you share your story on social media and nobody's liking or commenting or messaging you, I guarantee you somebody's watching and they're thinking like, wow, that's awesome. Like, I wish I could do something like that. So, you know, number one, when you kickstart your business is I don't necessarily think that you should go and post like, hey, I'm a ZYIA rep and I'm doing this and all this other like emotional things. Like, I think you should just kind of resonate on that and journal it out and kind of think through those things. because whether you started a year and a half ago or just today, like it's really important to your business to set a sole foundation of why you're here. Your customers will want, it's important to your customers. It's important to your team that you're getting ready to build. It's important to my family. So number one thing is get in your back office, feel comfortable with the reason and the decision that you're here, and kind of work with your upline on that and use the website. If you're trying to get into the website, the password is ZOF, all under case letters. So just kind of how I work is I don't know everything either, but if I can't figure it out, I usually go to YouTube and Google ZYIA, how to blah, 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 or I phone a friend. I don't just call Lindsay Costello and say, I can't figure this out. You know what I mean? So I try to be a little bit more of a researcher by myself before I use my upline. Or I use my sister crew, like my leaders and my sister upline or whatever. Okay, so you have a gift card. Is that anybody here? Obviously, I know Liz hasn't used her gift card. Is anyone else not used? Heather, have you used your gift card? Angela hasn't used her gift card. Okay, so Taylor, have you used your gift card? No. Okay, so using your gift card is obviously really important. Like I'm so impulsive, like the minute I joined, I used my gift card. But there are so many cool things that I wanted. So the way I always tell my level ones to use their gift card is to create a link. You are 100% and can be your first customer. I know like Taylor's obviously had some customers already, but if you're at 145 and you just joined, you can use your gift card from yourself. So when you go into the back office and you create your launch party link for people to shop so you can build rewards, our rewards start at 200 in sales, 600, 1,000, and 2,000. Most of you probably already know that, but we can take those rewards and use them. We can use them for free gear and half priced items. We can give those rewards away to our VIPs or whatnot. But you want to use your gift card. So say I'm at 145 and then use my gift card. I am now at 245 lifetime PV, right? Personal volume. That doesn't mean I'm getting paid 20% on that because it's a discounted rate. I won't get paid on all of that, but it's going to help me get to my $1,000. So for my level ones, I always want them to get to override. I want them to earn that 8% in the first month. Okay. That's, if you're paying full price for your kit, that is earning almost close to your investment back. If you would have told me a year and a half ago that the kit used to be $395, that I was to pay $395 to invest in a business and I would be making full pay, I would have never believed you. So use your gift card. You can just enter things full price because your goal is to get to 1,000. Okay. If you have joined this business as a discount rep, you can use your gift card in the back office. And everything, and when you go to place order, all of those things, if you do personal order, all of those things are already discounted. So if you are a discount rep only, or you have a team that has a discount rep, they can use their discount in the back office. Now, does that mean you can't ever use your discount? No. But if you can earn 28% versus saving 25, it's a couple of bucks. But it goes towards your lifetime, which makes you rank, and that's a whole nother spiel. Okay. So I think that this is the most missed part in our team, right? Is that we don't teach our people how to use their gift card. If you go under place order and you go under gift certificates, you can copy and paste that gift certificate and you can use it either as a discount rep or you can use it in a party. So if you're buying full price and you're using that $100 in a party, you're earning not only rank PV towards rank, but you're also in building that volume, but you're also earning rewards. Does that make sense? So at $200, you need three orders, and then you can close it out for two or, two half off items and $20 off. So doesn't mean you have to close it. I always tell people build it as large as you can, and then you can close it out when it's ready. But if you haven't used your gift card, I would use your gift card sometime in the month of June. If it gets close to June, you haven't used it, then maybe you wait for July so that you're closer to 1,000 in that month. Does that make sense? Because, if you're at $400 at the end of June, you might want to use that $100 to try to get you close to 1,000 in July. Does that make sense? So if you have a team and you're not onboarding them by yourself, please just try to iterate, because it helps your group volume too. Does that make sense? So if they're using their discount, they're getting 25% and not 28. I hope that makes sense. And so number 3, I would say, is your Facebook community. So if you guys were a hostess and you were like Amy runs all of her hostess into a group, a Facebook group, and then you can, I don't know, Heather, did you have a party first? You did? Okay, so your launch party turned into your VIP group. How many people do you have in that group? Do you know, Amy? Oh, you're on mute.
Not off the top of my head. I don't remember.
Okay. So I know we talked about this in our last team training, and it was basically that, if you're hosting a party for a hostess and she decides to join, she changes that launch party group like Amy does into her Facebook community. That is honestly the number one, like that. And Taylor will tell you, she started a Facebook group from scratch, like really like getting that clientele out there. And Angie, I'm not a part of yours, but getting that clientele and that big community group. Like I've been in a 1.5 years and I have 600 people. You'd be surprised that the people are watching you. You'd be surprised the people who came out of the woodwork today and bought a red tank top because I posted about it. So crop top or whatever. So the more people that you can touch, whether they comment or buy or whatever, I know, Kim, we talked about this. Like if you have 60 people in your VIP group, you're not touching enough people. I know, Amy, you do really well in parties, like a lot, like Liz and Jamie and Marla's team. Those girls sell a lot of gear because of their Facebook community, because they have a huge community following. Now, for me, I didn't have that off the bat. Like I had to really like get out there and I had to grind through it. But I use all faucets of social media to try to touch. And now I know every time I post, I'm not just going to get a sale. I know it's like part of that hard work and that grind. I know Liz is on this call and she's a new rep. I watched her for months. I watched her for months do another MLM that she's still part of. But I was drawn to her because it was real. It was not like she was in this fancy like area or whatever. Like she was working out, she was posting her workouts. It was very real. And I continued to follow her because I enjoyed watching and I related to her. So your Facebook community is another thing that it takes a little bit of time, but it's very important. And I know Candace talked about this a lot, and she does a really good job about this, is she posts every day, 3 or 4 times a day, and she has those pockets of time labeled of when she's going to post. So if I see Candace post today, if I see her post 4 or 5 days later, I'm not going to follow her. I'm, you know what I mean? Like that's just for me in social media. I'm following people who are posting all the time. They're on stories, they're posting in their VIP group, and community in the group is really what it's about. It's not really about leggings and new releases, if that makes sense. So that's been my obviously my biggest reflection, not for me, but for my team, is that the people who are building big communities and really trusting communities in their VIP groups are getting a lot of success. And that's like about your brand. So you have to think about it, right? So right on this call right now, we have 13 participants. Yeah, I mean, and I tell people that a lot too when we talk about Facebook parties. Like people they will interact when the sale isn't tied to it. You know what I mean? Like if you ask them, hey, I'm looking for a new bat for my son. Like that's what I'm looking for today. If I posted that in my VIP group, I would get a crap ton of engagement. People would be like, oh yeah, I got this, or I got this and that or whatever. And they want to tell you about their story. So if you're a new rep or you're just getting like loaded on your, on your VIP community, like you kind of want to think about, what is my brand? Like what do I love? For me, I love my kids. I love cooking. You know, like I was talking to Taylor about branding, you know, her VIP group around like fitness, and she just ran 24 miles in 24 hours. Like people were engaged and following because it wasn't kind of related to a sale. Does that make sense? But she's drawing the attraction to people that she wants in her community, you know? I think she could do a lot of things with like ball skills and, you know, whatever. So my posts might not be as, you know, similar to Amy or Candace or Kelly's posts. So then another thing I wanted to talk about was you want to announce it to the world. So obviously, like Kim, like your family and friends probably all know by now that you sell ZYIA, right? That you're a ZYIA rep. They probably all knew before that you really loved activewear. So I know, like, for Liz or for some other Heather, like your new friends and family, like you got to find a comfortable way for you to say, like, you know, I found this new amazing company. I kind of followed it for a long time and I already live in activewear. Like whatever your story ends up being, you want to post it somehow. You know, you want to, I know Kelly has a thing to do, post about the business opportunity once a week. You want to drive some sort of consistent message to your friends and your family. That's your warm market, the people that you already know about your business. And don't be ashamed or afraid to be that girl, because that is why you're here. That's why you hit enroll, is because you want to be at the top 1% of the company in a year or sooner, who knows. And then when I do that, I'm a list person. If you like to write things out or try to stay organized in any sort of way, I do memory joggers. So if you're on any of Sam's calls, he does a lot of our new rep calls. I know if you're new and you're not familiar, Sam Higginson is a consultant that we use. We used him a lot when like Kelly and I joined, and he worked with Rodan for a long time. He's worked with some top MLM or direct sales companies. And right now he's doing a series of new rep trainings, and it's follow and invite and engage. Those are the core messages that we're trying to integrate in our businesses. So we're trying to follow up and have a system to do that. We're trying to invite as many people like into and to get into our brand as possible. What else? If you're not comfortable being live, then that's okay. Maybe it's something that you kind of can ease into. I do it somewhat. Mainly, I've been doing it a lot just with new releases, and maybe it's something like that gets you a little comfortable. I do a lot of lives when I'm cooking with my kids. So I know Amy does a couple of lives too. And I always try to jump on there or to interact with you guys when you are live, because I know that you guys do the same for me and show support. I know Taylor was live like week 1 and her whole family was like, oh my gosh, that was so, they kept using the word professional. And I thought that was great because Taylor probably did too. She's like, I'm not professional. So if you are a list person, write down some of those memory joggers. And what I mean by that is, I kind of did this today. I did like a little, like grid here, and I'll put people in there in my little grid and I'll kind of doodle. But my little grid is like work people that I've known from all my jobs. So people that I think that would love the business, that would love the brand in there. Kids, people that are friends with my kids, school, sports. So I'm trying to kind of step out of my warm market meaning people I talk to almost every single day, every single week, every single month. And my cold market could be people that I know. I just have, like Liz, I haven't talked to in a while. So I might, you know, reach out to her because, you know, I think that she'd be great for the business. And then when you're making those lists of memory joggers, that's when those are your reach outs. Those are the people that you want to share the brand with, right? So I'm leading a leadership group, and I have a little pod of girls that we're training right now, ladies in the business. And one of them reached out and said, you know, I'm having a hard time like getting hostesses, or, you know, I'm having a hard time booking parties for this month. Like, do you have any verbiage that you use? And for me, and Lindsay has taught me this, and I've used it since the beginning. I don't go looking for parties. I don't go looking for sales. I lead with one thing, and I lead with a short script of things about the business, and I leave it at that. If I'm desperate and I really need a party or I need some sales, yeah, I'll ask my family and friends or my aunt or whatever. But when I'm doing my reach outs, when I'm making my memory joggers and I'm making my list of 100 people or 5 or 10 for the day, those people I'm reaching out to about the company and the brand. I don't say, hey, do you think you could host a party for me? Do you like to earn free gear and half off? I'm not looking for parties. I'm looking for teammates. I'm looking for people to strengthen us in the community. Um, if I've talked to them already and I've given them that verbiage, then I fall back on a party and then I fall back on a sale. I don't try to pressure people into joining or, I am consistent, but I don't lead with, oh, hey, Candace, do you think you want to have a party for me? That's not ever my first conversation with her, because then I'm working backwards. Does that make sense? So, and that might be not your cup of tea. I've been ghosted many, many times, and just because I'm ghosted doesn't mean I don't go back. That's another training. So when you do your list and your memory joggers, those people are going to help kickstart your business. You know what I mean? So like I know Kim, she's been in for about 30 days. She's probably making a new list by now. Amy's probably ran through about 50 parties by now. So she's probably making a new list of people that she wants to contact. Photos. I did make a note about this in our new rep training for photos. I know a lot of people, you know, the marketing group. So when you first join, it's a little overwhelming, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I have all these groups and these chats and whatever. And I know it can be overwhelming. So if you have a downline, please make sure you get them in the marketing group. I know Leanne, there were some people from your team that weren't in the retired site, like with inventory low. Those things are really important to our business. They're crucial for us to have happy customers. I'm at the point right now where I'm trying to, I'm doing like a mentorship thing with a rep. I'm trying to do my own photos. And I know Candace, you use a lot of your photos for gear. So if something launches, I don't always go to marketing group. If I'm in a bind, I'll go over there and I'll copy a photo. But for the most part, I've downloaded Canva or Word Swag, or I even sometimes just use the Facebook and then I use a filter in Words. And I try to create my own images because I know my VIP group relates that. So like today, I put this on, right? I could have very easily gone and taken that, from a marketing group, but I'm getting more engagement. I'm driving more people to my VIP group and getting authentic conversations through Messenger because I posted a picture of myself. Now, did I take that picture like 80 times to try to make it what I wanted? Probably. But I will tell you this, if you have time in your business, make photos and make them your own. And when you get into a party online, I don't do this, but save them. I don't know, Candace, do you do this where you like save them and you have like, I don't do that very well, but
Like for your online parties, you're saying?
yeah.
Yeah, I like have saved posts under collections on Facebook, but I also have made albums on my iPhone as well.
So that's like on my task to-do list. I'm trying to organize my photos because like today I want to post pictures of gray metallic the leggings, and I was like scrolling all through my phone like down to Christmas time trying to find those pictures, so if there's one tip I can give you is very quickly, inventory goes in and out, organize your photos, try to find a system around that. It'll make it your business very more productive and consistent. Let's see, where post kit live. So I know we talked about like being really consistent. I always encourage you. I know Taylor makes fun of me of this because she's like, ZYIA. I wear ZYIA everywhere. I know that sounds a little crazy, but if I'm like going to the lake or the pool, I have like a ZYIA swim bottom on and a Target top or something. I try to incorporate ZYIA when I'm at my kids' baseball games. Like I know Leanne's at the fields a lot. There are tons of cold market people there. Tons all over the place. Now that our brand is a little bit, we have 30,000 reps. It's a little bit more popular now. People probably start to recognize that, but like today I went to the Chinese place, pick up some sushi for Ryan. This girl was like, hey, what'd you get your leggings at? And so like literally that was a conversation, and it turned into a sale. And like, if I can tell you anything, wear your stuff wherever you can. So I know if you're just starting, like Taylor had to come over and snag some pieces. I can send stuff in the mail. I got Liz just started. I got a bag going to her already. If you're just starting, reach up to your upline, use your downlines, whatever it is, to try to get gear if you can, because it's your walking marketing piece. So if you can, just wear the bra or just wear leggings and mix it up until you get stuff, then that's great. And you don't necessarily have to keep an inventory. I know a lot of people ask that if you're in recruitment and they're like, hey, do you have to buy all the things? It's really, it's kind of impossible just because it changes ever so often. So I think that was really it, other than ranking and the goal tracker. I know for June, obviously we have a double bonus. So like junior and senior rep is very doable. I know Chrissy and I were talking about this through Messenger yesterday about where you have to get to, but I don't necessarily love talking about rank right off the bat, but I think that we've had a lot of good momentum. Like Amy, and there's like Kim's team kind of took off. Like there are a lot of people who are putting up huge numbers, and I don't want to hold them back. Like, Angie, you like obviously have kind of hit a little bit of a traction. So I don't want to not talk about it, but to hit that first level, you really just, like, I know Rachel talked about this in a Tuesday training. She just has one person really working under her. Everyone else is a discount rep. So when you sign one person, they're already really at 245 when they use their gift card. So, and that's how literally at 11:45 at night on the last day, we got Kim Funk to rank to get those Nikes because, someone joined. So, you're at 245, they just have to get to 600 if you have 1,200 lifetime sales. So I don't want to like go above that or whatever, but I know a lot of you guys are already in talking. Amy, I know you probably have talked to your team, and Candace about how to rank. Angie, I think you've had a conversation, right? Oh, here you go.
So I just had somebody sign up with me. So she's just getting things started. So we really haven't gotten that far into it.
That's right.
But she's familiar with the company though. So
yeah, right.
She's kind of got a step ahead of others, I would assume.
Yeah. So I messaged Angie and I was like, hey, I know Leanne talks about this a lot. I was like, hey, you're doing really well. Like you could do junior rep, like you get $100, like, and then like 2 hours later, she's like, oh, I signed someone. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What just happened here? She's like, oh, no big deal. She didn't say that, but, so, I mean, Leanne's like, yeah, come over with my team. So, and I know Kelly's on here too. Like, I know we talk about like, oh, you want to get to junior rep or whatever. Like for me, I didn't have anyone join, for like 3 months, maybe 2 months. I don't really know the details, but I talk about this a lot. Like I did that for a living. I recruited people to come to my university, and for me not to have anybody to want to sell leggings with me, I was like, what's going on? So Leanne, I know, like, I think sometimes when you focus on it a lot and you focus on it too much, like it doesn't like happen, you know what I mean? So what I would tell you is just like I told Jamie, Kim's downline, like just try to stay authentic and stay to what you truly believe in, and just sharing your energy and sharing your passion. Invite them to team calls like this just to see, or invite them to a Discover ZYIA. Like if Angie or anybody on the call, if you guys have people that are genuinely interested and you don't feel like, I always say get them on the phone. I always say get those people on the phone. But what I will say is, call me or call Marla or whoever the directors in here, and let's get a Discover ZYIA. We'll set something up so we can have a platform like this where they can hear from not just me or you, but for other people.
I feel like the hard thing is, like everybody is just booming, and I'm like, well, shit, maybe I'm doing, I mean, granted, I've been doing this for 3 weeks. But I'm like, you know, all these people are like, oh, I have 12 people that I just signed yesterday. I'm like, well, damn. I can't even get, I mean, I'm doing okay on the other ends, but that's, I think I'm comparing myself too much to what everyone else is doing and not just going with the flow.
Yeah.
I felt like that. Sorry, Erica, I don't mean to cut you off, but I totally felt like that. So my downline, her name is Jamie Schmitz, and you'll hear Erica talk about her, or you'll hear Marla talk about her. Follow her. She's amazing. But Leanne, I felt just like you did, honestly. You know, her background, and I don't know anybody's backgrounds here, but her background is fitness and instruction, and she's just got this energy. And so she joined under me like probably 5 days after I joined. Like, it was amazing, honestly. But, you know, we have our kids go to school together, so we have a lot of the same like customers. But I felt like that, like when it came to like sales, but she's insanely successful at getting people to join. So I know exactly where you are, but the thing that I have to tell myself is, this is like, she's running her business her way, and you know, she has access to all of these people through her group fitness instructor. Like, I teach, I coach, my husband teaches and coaches. You know, the people that I would be seeing and connecting with, I can't see right now.
Right.
I don't see right now. And so I've kind of had to not like, just give myself a little bit more grace and be more patient in how I'm growing my business. But it's hard to not compare.
Yes.
I feel like, you know, when I focus on comparing, you know, I hit those bumps in the road. And, you know, so it's hard for me, you know, but I think it's a mindset, honestly.
Right.
I think like, and I know Rachel's not on the call. She was on the last call, but she was like that in the very beginning. And then, like she said, she kind of took a break or whatever. And then she really started focusing on it. And I used to do that a lot. I used to write down like, oh, I want to hit this ring. And I would write it down every single month, you know, and like you said, you just kind of get like in this mind block. And I was like thinking to myself, when am I going to stop writing this rank down? Like, when am I going to do something about it? You know what I mean? And like, when I do think about recruiting, I literally go out there and at this point, and we have such a good community of a team, I go after people and I'm like, listen, I want you to do this with me. Like, how can I get you on my team? That's what I say to them, because I'm like, listen, I know that you will be successful, you know, and I won't not let you, but you have to try too. It's not like I'm just going to be like, oh, come to my team and then just do nothing. So, you know, you are at the ball fields all the time. Like, if there's a person that you're really close to, like, your first like couple people, you want them to be there, not like the other ones in the middle don't count. But, you know, I met Candace kind of by default, and I really wanted Amy, but it just wasn't the right moment, you know. But don't be afraid to tell people like, I really want you to do this with me, or, you know, do it alongside of me, not with me, but you know what I mean? Really give them that genuine piece to you, because like Kim and Leanne, when you guys keep showing up, like Candace and Kelly will tell you, when you keep showing up and you go at your own pace, the magic happens. And it might be a year and it might be 6 months, but you have people that are successful around you to like to help you out. Does that make sense? And I just keep going back to like, okay, well, I might not have been really good at that, but I'm at $2,000, you know, like you kind of are, you know, like I'm putting money in my pocket and I got some sweet gear. So it's not all bad, you know? So, and then when you do get that one person, you'll be like, oh, I worked so hard for this person, you know? So, so yeah, it's just like, and the behaviors have to be consistent. You know, I know like Taylor's really trying to get like a teammate, and my friend Bailey. So, you know, it's like what I've said before, not everything works for everyone. Like whatever Jamie's doing might not work for me. It definitely didn't work for me. I tried doing something she did. It didn't work for me. And it might not be good for Kim, but I'm going to cheer them all along the way. So, you know, I know we use, and I talk about rank a lot, and we use it. I want that for you guys. I want to stay up till midnight and help you win a pair of Nikes. Like I want that for you. People do it for me. So, if you guys have any questions, I know like, you know, getting a Venmo, if you don't have that, that's really important. Like asking some of those questions about like, you know, monetary things. We get paid on the 10th. That's really important if you're brand new. They run commissions the first week. They kind of shut things down and run commissions, and they'll come in the back office and email you that you can see what you're making. If you have a dispute, you can email them back. So I'm gonna I'm gonna turn off the new rep training, and I want to address a couple other things in the team. Does anybody have any questions about the new rep training? I don't think anybody is really new that I see.